Hello, guys, and we are welcome back to another live coding session. It's another summer camp live coding session with Flourish Field Academy. And today we're going live to learn how to build an autonomous or AI car racing game. We know AI is more like the in thing now, and it's only right we try to implement some as many AI features as we can with Scratch. And for you to be able to do this, you have to walk with us through the steps. Now let's get started. First, let us demonstrate the game. I'm not too good at driving cars, so you have to pardon me a little. But we made this game, and when I click on the green flag, this is my car and this is the AI car. Now I have to control my car, but the AI car is, as you already know, controlled by artificial intelligence or some kind of intelligence that we as learners are going to create with Flourish Field Academy. Now let's test it out. I'll click the green flag and my aim is to try to guide my own car. As you can see, if I crash the car, then it says you lose because it's pretty much impossible for the AI to crash his car because it's artificial intelligence. So it's always going to actually move along this part, and in the end, whoever gets to the finish line first will definitely be the winner. I hope you understand the game. Let me just try to run it one more time. Let's see. Oopsies. Alright, as you can see, I'm pretty bad at playing the game, but I think we all get the idea now so that we do not spend so much time learning how to play the game, and we want to spend our time actually building this. Now, as usual, our first step is to get our sprites and backgrounds ready. So first, let me try to get all our sprites ready first. Now, before this class, we took the liberty as Flourish Field Academy team to create these sprites. So we're able to do this using the tools provided in Scratch. If you want to learn more about how you can build your own sprites and how to create your own tracks in Scratch, do well to reach out to Flourish Field Academy. But for now, we'll provide you with all the necessary sprites and backdrops. So let's do this together. I'll open my own Scratch, and of course, I do not want the Scratch cat, so I'll delete that. Here we go. And I want to add all my sprites. And just like we did in our live session yesterday, we showed you how to add multiple sprites all at the same time. So we're going to do that right about now. I already have my sprites on my computer, so I'll open it up. And I think I should have that in my downloads. And there we go. So for my sprites, I have all of them. There we go. Now that we have all my sprites, it's time to also do something to the background. We need to also add the background. Again, just like we did with our sprites, this background can be drawn. And to learn more about how to draw your background, as expected, you have to reach out to us at Flourish Field Academy, and we'll guide you on the steps how to draw your own. But again, the background will be provided for you to follow with the live session. Now, to upload your background, I'll go to backdrops. I'll click on upload backdrop, and I have my backdrop here, somewhere here. Yes, here we go. It's called start background. I'll add that, and let's see. Here we go. As you can see, we have our background, we have our AI car, and we also have our own car. This is the AI car, and this is our own car. But I think we still need a few more copies of our background, because at some point we're going to need to display win, and at some point we're going to need to display you lose. So I'll make a copy, or rather a duplicate of my background. For the first one, I'm going to write the text you win. So I'll click on T, and I want to write that text here. So I'll write in capital letters the text Y O. Oops, I want a different color. I don't want purple, so I want a lot more brighter color. Yeah, maybe this would be fine. So I'll write YOU and win, WIN. I can of course make this as big as I want by expanding, and I can also move it around. So right now I think this is big enough, and just like I did with this, I'll repeat the same thing for the other one, but this time writing you lost, and here I write you lost. And again, I'll try to make this as big as I want. You can totally adjust this to suit what you'd like. And now I'll head back to my backdrop. Now, the first thing I want to do, especially when it comes to writing code, is to make sure that whenever I start my game, I always start at this backdrop. So to do that, I'm going to name my backdrops. So this is called start background. I'll write this you win. I'll call this you win so that I can identify them. And I'll call this you lost. Which is you lost. So now I can identify the backdrops. And because of this, if I go back to my code, notice how the code I want to write now is for my backdrop. So I'll go to my backdrop. That's why you cannot see the motion blocks. So on my backdrop or stage, I'll need to add the block that says when green flag clicked, which means when you start your game, you want to switch your backdrop to the start background. Switch backdrop to start background. Now let's test it out to be sure that this works, because we totally have to make sure that it works. Okay, now I'll go to car racing firstly. Now I have my motion block. As you can see, we have the you win background right now. If our code works properly, then it means if we click on this green flag, the background should switch. It should take out the you win and take us straight back to the start background. And as you can see, it does exactly as we expect. Now we can move on to writing the codes. Starting off with our car racing game, I think we can start with the main character for this project, the car racing. So this is my car and this is the AI car, but I would be starting the coding from my own car. So I'll start with adding the block of code that says when green flag clicked, I want to go to front. I want to make sure it is visible at all times, because we have other sprites like the finish line and the start line. So because we have these two sprites, we want to make sure we use the go to front layer block so that it's always visible. As you can see right now, we don't see the AI car, although it's there. But because it's not in the front layer, we can't see it. So I have to look for the block of code that says go to front layer to make sure that it's always going to be visible above any other sprites. Now, again, to make sure that we are clear, we already added when flag clicked at the background, switch to backdrop. So that means when you click on the green flag, it switches to this main background, and at the same time it pushes your racing car to the front, making it totally visible. Now let us set the size, because sometimes these sizes might change. As you can see, the size of my AI car is currently 10. I can as well adjust that to 100. And you see it becomes bigger. So we need to make sure that the size of the AI car is going to be at 10, and there will be no instance where it becomes bigger than 10, because we have to maintain this track. So I'll add the block that says set size to 10%. That's what I'm looking for. Set size, instead of to 100%, we'll make that 10%. And at the same time, this is the start line. So we want to make sure that my car goes to wherever the start line is. Don't worry, we're going to write a very short code for our start and end line to make sure that they are always at this point. But for now, we need to look for the block that says go to start line. So here we go. There you go. And let's look for start line. There we have it. Now it says go to start line. And finally, in terms of the positioning, before we go on to movement of our cars, we need to make sure that the car is always facing forward. And that, for it to face forward, it means it has to point in the angle of 90 degrees. Let's make sure that it's 90 degrees. Let's make sure we're not wrong about that. So we'll look for the block that says point in direction. There we go. Now to be sure it's going to point forward, let's check. And I think 90 degrees is what points forward. If you take it back, you'd see it has other values. So I think 90 degrees is perfect. And I'm going to attach that as well now. Now we can go back to our very good friend, the forever loop. And I'm sure that by now we are all aware of what the forever loop helps us to achieve. So we'll go straight to using the forever loop right now. I'll attach that. And as we all know, whatever code we put inside, we want that to run every single time. Alright? Now, if we take a look at our car racing game, the moment you start, your car immediately moves. It's on you to begin to control the car immediately. The lag only comes from the AI car. So for us, we'll need to add the move 10 steps. Now, if you test out the code now, your car should move immediately, but it's a little too fast. So let's slow it down. Let's try to slow it down. So instead of 10 steps, we'll use a smaller number, say 1 or 2. Let's make it 2. Okay? Let's make that 2. So now if you click on the green flag, because it says go to start line, your car would always start here. So see, it's always starting from the start line. As you can see, it's moving a lot more slower. If you want it to move more slowly, then you can reduce the move 10 steps. But now let's move to guiding, how to guide our cars moving from left to right. I'm going to do that using our arrow keys, the left and the right arrow keys. So now we need the if then block. Let me try to scroll down. Now in our if then block, we need our condition. We're going to say if key left arrow pressed. So key, we're going to change space to left arrow. If key left arrow is pressed, then we want to turn. We want to turn towards the left hand side. Now remember, this is right, this is left. So we want to turn towards the left hand side. So this is left. So yeah, there we have it. We want to turn a certain amount of degrees. You can also play around with these values, but for me, I'll make it 5 degrees. I want to turn about 5 degrees. You can totally make it turn as much as you want. But let's test it out again. Left arrow, can you see? It turns, but it still maintains its motion. See? It turns, but it still maintains its motion. repeat the same thing that we've just done for the right arrow as well. Again, if he right arrow pressed, then we want to turn 5 degrees, but this time to the right. So you have to be very careful of the turn symbols as well. It's as important as the code you are writing, so we have to be very careful. So we're going to turn, make sure you turn the same number of times here, and you don't have, it doesn't have to be negative, so it's just turn 5 degrees. So I'll take out 1 and it turns 5 degrees. So now let's test this out again to see how our car reacts. Let's see. You can see it's able to turn down and it keeps turning. And I can turn the other way as well. I can turn the other way as well. As you can see, I can turn whichever way I like, which means our code is currently working. But as you can see, it's going out of the track, so we still need to add some more conditionals. So again, I'll add another if then block. Now this time I want to say if touching color. The color of our track is green, so let's try to make it if touching the green color. You have to try to make sure the color matches. I think this is it. Great. If touching green color, then we want to switch the backdrop to a loose background. Pretty much simple. So if it touches the green color, we want to switch the backdrop. Where's the switch backdrop to your lost? As soon as you do that, you want to also make sure you stop everything going on. So we need to look for the stop all block. Now at this point, if you check your game, once it touches the green color, you have to make sure it touches the green color properly. I don't think I have the exact color. So hold on, let's check it out. Let me check the color of green for my backdrop. Okay, I want to check the green color for my backdrop to see its value. 34, 100 and 61. So I have to go back to make sure I get that correct. 34, 100 and 61. So this is 34. See, I got it wrong. It should be 34. 100 and 61. There we go. Now if I test my code out again, you see the moment it gets to the green, the moment it touches that, it switches to the you lost backdrop and it says you lost. And this, if you click on the green flag because of the code we've written so far, then it switches back to the previous background. Now let's try to make sure that our start and finish line don't move away from where they are supposed to be. Let's start with the end line. So I think this is a position of -208 and 106. So currently I think I'm satisfied with where the end line is. You can see it's currently at an X position of -208 and Y position of 106. So I want to make sure that whenever I start my game, the end position is always there. And I'll try to do the same for the start. So I already have the when green flag clicked, it's -206 and Y 160. So I'll do the same for that. So -206. So this helps me out. Now I've been able to write the codes to control my car, At the same time, I've been able to write the codes to make sure that um, my start and finish line are properly placed. Now, I believe it's time for us to go to one of the main crux of the day, our AI car. Now, let's try to write the codes for our AI car. And just like we did yesterday, we're gonna also broadcast some message. Remember I told us in our live session yesterday that we use the broadcast message block to communicate between sprites. And because we're building an AI car, there's a lot of communication involved. So that means to create our own version of the AI in Scratch, would need to use a lot of the broadcast message sprite. But let's get to writing codes for our AI car firstly. Again, we need the when green flag clicked. Very much important. As you must have noticed, seems to be one of our very good friends. And just like we did with the other one, we need to make sure it goes to the front layer. I have to check that carefully. Go to front layer. And at the same time, we want to make sure that it goes to the start line, because the AI car and our own car have to start at the same position. So there's no cheating. So I'll look for a block that says go to. Yep. So I'm gonna say go to start line. That's where we are. Go to the start line. Now at the same time, you want to make sure that just like you did for your own car, your AI car at least points forward. We're gonna find ways of guiding the AI car very shortly, but we want to make sure that it at least points forward. To do that, you guessed right, we have to point in direction 90 degrees. Now to give ourselves a bit of a head start, because AI can be really powerful, the machine can be really powerful, let's create a little lag between our car and the AI car. So I'll add wait 1 second. If you like, you can add wait 2 seconds, but in my opinion, I think maybe 1 second is perfect. For you, you might want to add as much time as you would prefer. It's totally fine. There's no downside to that. But for me, I'd prefer to add just 1 second. Now, I'll go back to my next best friend, the forever loop, because we want to make sure that certain things happen forever. Alright, now I want to create my first variable, and I'll tell you about the variable shortly. But first, let me create the variable. It's called AI car direction. AI car direction. Yep. Let's create that. Now I've created my first variable called AI car direction, and as you can guess, or rather as we've always mentioned, a variable is a space in your computer capable of holding any kind of value. But in this case, we want to hold the value because we don't know where our cars might be turned. As you can see, our tracks are kind of zigzag, so we need to be able to control the car. So at every point in time, we want to keep track of our car's movement. That's why we created the variable called AI car direction. So that means our next step will be to set AI car direction to whatever direction our car is moving in. So let's look for direction. There's a block called direction. There we go. Now we've set our AI car direction to whatever direction our car is. So that means we now have the ability to guide our car, and whatever direction our car is, that's going to be our AI car direction. So we can guide it easy. Next, we need to move a few steps. We're going to move 2 steps because we moved 2 steps for our car. So we're going to change this from 10 to 2. Just like we did for the previous one, we're going to check if the AI car touches the green color. We'll probably want to say something else, but but I doubt if it will. But let's do that together. So I'll add the if then block and say if touching color. Okay, and for that I think this was 34. Let's try to make this 34. We have to be careful. And this is 100, and this has to be 61. There we go. So let's make sure we got it correct. I think we did. Yes, I think we did. So if our AI car touches the green color, let's say something. We want to say something. We say oops. Sorry. But of course you can write anything you want. And at the same time, we want to also check if it gets to the end line. This red marker is our end line. So let's add another if then block. So we'll say if touching end line, we want to switch the background to again lost background, because you don't want the AI to beat you in the game. If the AI beats you, then you lost. So we're going to say if touching end line, then we firstly want to switch the backdrop to our end background, our lost background, and at the same time we want to stop all. We want to make sure that we stop everything. I have to carefully look for the stop all block. There we go. And now we can move on to the next part. Now mind you, because we're going to be broadcasting some messages, all right, we would be right back to make some changes to our code. But first, let's try to make some changes to the AI sensor up and the AI sensor down. Now I'm going to tell you what this AI sensor is, but first let me hide the variable. Yeah. Now right now you cannot see what I've just labeled AI sensor. I don't think you can see it on my screen. Now let me make it visible. It's just a simple stroke. It's a sprite. So we drew this. It's a simple stroke that we intend to use to guide our car. If you look at it, it's a stroke up, and for the second one it's a stroke down. So this would be used to help guide our AI car. We made it invisible so that you can't see them. Alright, so now let's try to start with one of the AI sensor car. Now don't worry, we'll go right back to make more changes to our AI car, because we're going to be broadcasting some messages. So first, I need the when green flag clicked. Of course we don't want to see them, so we hide. I need to look for the hide block. Here we go. And again, let us wait for 1 second just to make our game look a lot nicer. And we'll go right back to our very good friend, the forever loop. Now we want to check if it touches the green color. Right? We would want it to say turn down. Notice how I'm working on the one for up. So if it touches the green color at the top, we'll try to tell the AI car to turn down. And for the one but at the bottom, if it touches the green color at the bottom, we'll tell it to move up. So that's the essence of having this sensor. It's more like a sensor that is always going to be with the AI car. So now we'll look for an if then block, and we'll say if touching, oops, it should be touching color. If touching color, you have to be careful with the color. Make sure you get the exact color. That's why I have 34, 161. There we go. Now, if it's touching that color, then I want to broadcast a message. Now, that message, I will react to it back at my AI car because I want the AI car to move downwards when it gets that message. So I'll say turn down. I'm going to say turn down. Broadcast message. Turn down. I hit OK, and this saves. Now we still have a bit more code to do because right now this is hidden, but we need it to always guide our car, so it has to always follow the car. So I'm going to add another when flag clicked. I could have done that here, but for the sake of clarity, I decided to do it separated. So now I'll add the forever loop because I want it to always follow the car. So I want it to go to I want it to go to AI car. At the same time, I want it to point in a particular direction. Now, instead of pointing always at 90, I want it to point in whatever direction my AI car is pointing towards. Now that I've done one of the AI sensors, I'm going to do exactly the same. You guessed right. The codes are pretty much similar, except for where you have to turn up, you turn down. So let's do the other AI sensor, the one pointing downward, so that when it touches the green color down, it should begin to move up. Like we did earlier and like we already explained, we would say when green flag clicked, you want to hide. It's important you hide so that the black sensor is not always visible. So this is the whole trick about creating the AI. We're making our own sensor. Again, we want to wait for 1 second like we did for the previous one. You have to wait for equal amounts of seconds so that they don't lag behind each other. And now I add my forever loop, and again I want to check if touching the color that we don't want it to touch, green color. Remember, it is 34 for me. 34, 161. There you go. If touching that, then you want to turn upwards. So I want to broadcast a message that says turn upwards. Turn up. I hit OK, and just like we did with the previous one, again we need to make sure that this as well follows our AI car everywhere. So you need my forever loop, and tell it to go to where AI car is, go to AI car and point in direction, whatever direction our AI car is pointing. So I'll go to variables and I need to point in that direction, AI car direction. There we go. It took me a bit of time. Now let us try to react to the broadcast messages that we already made, to make sure that whenever we get any of those messages, we react accordingly. Now back at the AI car, remember we told you that whenever you broadcast a message, every single sprite contained in your project will become aware, and you can choose to react or not. Now we're choosing to react only to the AI car. So now I'll say when I receive, let's start from turn up. When I receive turn up, we want to turn upwards by say 10 degrees so that it goes up really nicely. So I'll turn upwards. I think this is going to help me turn upwards. considering my project. This is going to help me turn upwards. So I'll say turn by 10 degrees. And I'll do the same for when I receive down. I'm going to turn down by exactly the same amount. So that's 10 degrees. Now we can test out what we've done. Let's test it out first. Let me disconnect this to just look at just the AI car. Let's see. As you can see, the AI car is moving, is navigating throughout the course, making use of the sensor to sense where there's a green path so that it can easily follow the gray colored path. Now let me stop this. If I attach this to my code and I run it, I now need to race against the AI car. As you can see, it says I lost. If I had won, it would have said you won. I hope we understand how we're able to arrive at this point, and as we already promised, the links to the assets, to all the images and the sprites that we used here in this project will be left in the comment section. And please do well to leave us a question if you have any questions, leave us an encouragement, and also do well to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you for joining today's summer camp session. I hope we all had fun building our AI game, and we'll be looking forward to your feedbacks and also to your own version of the AI game. So bye for now, thank you, and see you soon.